It's Dr. Lori. I'm on Cape Cod, Massachusetts at the Sea Captain's Thrift Store in Brewster, Massachusetts. Come on in, let's see what we find. So here's jewelry. And of course, everybody goes directly to color, which I do too. But a couple of things you want to look for. Let's start right here with this red coral. So red coral with a sterling silver. This shape I'm not crazy about because it's sort of a triangle shape with another organic shape. It's a little big for me, but I do think it looks very pretty on certain folks. I like the fact that the pendant, in fact, has a lot of quality material on it. Okay, so while it's big, it has a lot of quality material. This is very nice red coral. Also spiny oyster. So you'll see both of those being interchanged in this particular piece. You have a little bit of red coral here, a little bit of spiny oyster, and these are shells and, of course, natural materials that a lot of people collect. This piece is dramatic because of its multi-strand beads and the small scale of the beads. And it's compared with the big size of the pendant. So that's why it really looks very good. So when people go, I don't know why that works, that's why it works. It's a design thing that basically you have little tiny but repeated with a big statement. This is a nice piece. So let's see how much it is. It is unmarked. I should show you that it's unmarked. So now you go, okay, well, we don't have any idea where it was made. Probably made in Asia. Probably that's where it was made, but there's no mark on the piece at all. And it has a nice big, one of the things that'll tell you about an Asian piece that I look for is this big, oversized bail. That bail is able to accept the 3 strands of the tiny little coral-colored beads. And on the back, they show us a couple things. So when you're in these thrift stores, make sure that you're careful if you have to pull out a little thumbtack like that one. Make sure if it's connected, you're careful. So they want $20 for this unmarked piece. I would say that's a pretty good value. Is it a real bargain? It's a bargain, probably worth $55. So you're going to make $35 on this if you resell it. If it were marked, I would be a little bit higher than that. I don't know if I can put this back together, so I'm going to let them put this back together. But that's a nice piece and a good one. I want to go back to green, speaking of color. Look at this piece. Here's why I wanted this. I wanted to talk about this for a couple of reasons. The actual green crystals are very, very nice, and they catch the light beautifully. They're 3 strands, and then the telltale sign here is not only the 3 strands, but these separator beads. See the separator beads? I like this. I like this. I don't care if you're big like me. I don't care if you're young. I don't care if you're an older person. This is a nice piece all the time. The way you know that it's vintage is this. This hook, if you see that hook, and the hook is obviously vintage, and then you also have these pieces that are the little tiny links of metal are also important for vintage. Notice too the details. So you're going, what details, Lori? What are you talking about? Well, the details on this are terrific. Look at these small little beads before you get to the larger beads. Those small beads that introduce the larger beads actually help this piece to fall better. They don't do this today. Today they don't do this. They don't make sure that the piece falls better. They go, okay, we're giving you faceted cut crystals. That's all you're going to get. But in the 1960s, which is when this piece was made, they gave you those 3 little beads that allowed the whole necklace to fall better on your neck. It makes a difference when you're looking at these types of pieces. So it's really nice. Let's see, how much is it? It's $1. Oh my gosh, it's $1. Okay, well, you're going to make $64 on this because it's worth $65, and I'm having a hard time leaving it here for you. I'm going to leave it here for you, but let me tell you, the next person who gets this piece is really lucky. That's a beautiful piece. Vintage, 1960s, well-made, Austrian crystals with the separator crystals, faceted cut. Oh gosh, this is beautiful. I'm finding you the bargains, real bargains on the road. Wow, that's beautiful. So I love bracelets, but I don't see a lot of great bracelets here. Earrings, they're not too good either. These enamel ones are kind of nice, very indicative of the 1980s, that blue and white with the faux pearl type of thing, but nothing great there. How about this? I like this. Here's one of the things I like. See the See this shiny decorative, see how it sparkles when I move it, that pendant? This is called a Maltese cross pendant. So that form is associated with, the Curse of Oak Island and the Knights Templar, and it's a very, very famous image, a very famous cross image. They've got, actually, truly, these are real pearls all the way through. You also have seed pearls, small, but they're real. This, of course, is Marcasite. Marcasite right there will sparkle. That's what's inside. You can see that sparkle to simulate a diamond or a sparkle. And then it's on this nice little chain, which is attached, so I'm not going to take the whole thing off. But if you pick it up, it's also a pin. So it's a pendant and a pin. Now I'm going to open up the pin. If you can see, and you're going to need your loop, it says 925 Thailand in there. Maybe my loop helps, maybe my loop doesn't help. But it says 925 Thailand right there on that pen. That pendant slash pin is basically a very nice piece. Now I'm going to have to take it apart on the back to see how much they want for it. On this is $10 for sterling silver, made in Asia with real pearls. So the pearls are probably South Sea pearls, and they are small, but they are the real thing. Your value is going to hit it out of the park with this, because that pendant alone is $100. With the chain, it's $125. So for $10, this is a very real bargain on the road. Beautiful. That's a great piece. That's a great piece, a big statement piece with the pearls and the Marcasite. And of course, it's set in sterling silver. It's duly marked. And these folks marked it here. But again, they're trying to sell the stuff. They know it's 925. See, they say 925 right here. They know it's marked for sterling silver. But on the other side of this tag says the price, which is an amazing 10 bucks. So you're going to make 10 times your value just on the pendant and another $25 on the little chain. That's great. You want to look for quality. So when you walked in, I'm sure everybody went, oh, look at the blue, look at the blue. The blue is beautiful. The blue is Chalcedony stones. You probably recognize Chalcedony. Maybe some of you have had an opportunity to buy or sell or collect Chalcedony. And then even in the pendant, you have Chalcedony as well. It does look like these are of similar type. This is $20. The price tag is right here for this one. And this one is, in fact, marked small on the back, says it's made in China, and it says it's 925 or sterling silver. So we're finding some sterling silver here, which is good. The Chalcedony really is very popular now, this sort of gray-blue stone color. And it is obviously and easily marked right there. Again, your telltale sign, you know, this big bail. That big bail usually says, I was made in Asia. What do I mean? Big size of that bail, which indicates that it's Asian made. So for $20, I think you definitely could get $75 for this necklace. I want you to see what to find. You know, what should I pass by? What's really good? As opposed to sort of the just, oh, I'm just going by what I like. I want you to improve on what your taste is so you can get really good bargains. So I asked the ladies here who run the shop if they would take some things out of the cabinet for us, out of the case, and they took out this. I wanted to see this necklace. So this necklace is faux pearls. They're nice, they're large. They have intermittent spacers of Marcasite. They're clearly marked, and they're marked sterling silver right here on the clasp. But I want you to look at the clasp, because once I saw them, I thought, at any price, I don't want them. And you're thinking, well, why don't you want them? At any price, really? Well, at $20, I don't want them. And actually, they say that they're new, but they're not new. I want you to look at these tiny little rings at the end of the clasp. Those tiny little rings indicate that there were 2 more strands on this particular necklace. Now, yes, it's in very good condition and such, but it is not new. Actually, 2 of these other strands have now fallen off this particular necklace. This clasp is intended for a 3-strand necklace. So yes, it's sterling silver, and that's great. And yes, they are nice faux pearls, and yes, it's Marcasite. But in fact, what's happened here is 2 of those other strands fell off. So these are telltale signs, and these are the types of things I want you to look for. So you can say, oh, wait a minute, there is something actually that I might have missed. And I want you to get what you won't miss. So they're very nice, sure, 20 bucks. Is it a bargain? Yes, they're probably worth 35, but not a great bargain. Then I asked about Belleek, because of course they said, well, this is Parian china, made in Ireland, very, very well known. It's known for its characteristics. What is that? Parian china. You pick it up, it's very lightweight. It's known for characteristics like the shamrocks on the pieces, which are hand painted on to all these Belleek pieces. What you want to look for with Belleek is you want to look for the mark on the bottom, and the marks will be different. There are black mark Belleeks, there's green mark Belleek, there's gold mark Belleek, there's a lot of marks Belleek, and of course all these marks relate to different time periods when they're made. So you're looking at these, and this of course is one of your earlier marked Belleek pieces. If you see a Belleek piece with a registration mark, that R in a circle, similar to the C in a circle, you're going to see, of course, these kinds of things. So you know that these are rather old in terms of their mark. Let me take a look at the other one and see what kind of mark that has on it. Parian china is sort of a beigey yellow, almost white butter color. And this one has a very different mark. You see how that's a gold mark? It had a sticker on it, because there's always a sticker on everything. But this piece is an older piece. It has a gold mark. So while the small bowl at $25 is about retail because of this mark, and because it's a different mark, it's an much older mark, this piece is better to buy than this piece, okay? So the marks matter. Here are the two different marks, okay? And it matters which mark you have for value. Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, all of this stuff goes into how I evaluate the pieces. People say, oh, well, Belleek doesn't sell very well. Yeah, but this is gold mark Belleek, people. You know, this is the Belleek everybody's looking for because it's older, it's higher quality, it's made differently. This is a really nice piece. And at $25, now they recognize it's Belleek, so that's great. But at $25, you're going to command 3 times this on the market. So you're going to get $75 for this little tiny vase. So that's what you're looking at. Marks matter. Marks matter. Okay. So these 3 things can go back into the case because I leave it all here for you. There's more to come from the Sea Captain's Thrift Shop on Cape Cod.